Hi everybody, welcome to this Expert Division qualifying round guide video with tournament win for the Far East 9-hole Cup here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Hope you're doing well. Please give me a thumb up if you don't mind, it would help me out a lot. And make sure you subscribed as well. Help me get to 20,000 subscribers. Replays, adjustments coming for all of the holes. They're all par 4s and we've got an eagle for you on every hole. Take a token or two, build in some tweaks as well if you need to, and take some notes as well. Adjustments on screen and in the commentary. There will be final round guides on Saturday. Good luck everybody. Here we go with hole number 1. On the drive here we're going to use an APOC and a Kingmaker. We're going to apply 5.8 topspin, 3 bars side spin to the right, and we're going to set up with APOC 5 plus. We are going to use the plus yardage and we're going to go from the top of plus 7. With APOC 4, that is going to be from the top of plus 13. The reason I'm not using max distance on either club is because otherwise you'll be too close to the bunker because you adjust up to a higher point. Half of the blue ring inside the rough if you've got APOC 5 and 6. Max plus 5, you can see here I'm pulling over the bullseye. That's because I can't line up the edge of the white ring with the tree in the way. It is not max right curl. Look at the tee, draw a line down from the tee, it would intersect the inner tip of the triangle and it's the point just before the circle drops in overpower. So make sure you replicate all the details, bounces nicely before the bunker and will roll towards the slope on down on the fairway around 375. Second shot we're going to play rings from min. You have got a fair amount of rings to count though, so time is of the essence. Find the min line. Then here I actually push up 10 rings at a time. There's 10, there is 20. And in the end I go with another, in the end, 8 rings of push up. I want to have the bullseye on the fringe as shown. And then it's going to be a no spin shot. And you'll see the ball guide there is just beyond the actual pin in the middle of the cup because we have headwind angle. So like I said, you've got to try and judge your rings from min. If you don't think you have time to count, then of course estimate as best you can your true club distance. But it's 1% per ring from min, basically. And we're pulling over the bullseye and going with 5% elevation. So in the video here, I think it was 27 rings from min. So I'm playing 27% slider, hitting perfect, bounces on the fringe, and then we're going to fall and get our eagle. We're going to play 1-to-1 on the drive here with the quarterback and the Kingmaker. We're adding spin, 3.5 top spin and 3 bars side spin to the right, and then we set up with the QB level 9 plus with the red ring touching the rough on the right at max distance with a power 3 ball. 1-to-1 is the adjust, so 7.8 wind. We're going to go 7.8 rings. A very simple adjustment here. Now we're going to use drive distance on the approach, DD on the notepad, so make sure you write down your drive distance. There is a potential of getting a glitch roll here, so that's why I'm using drive distance rather than any fringe checks or pin checks. You can see half a ball of curl to the right just before the circle drops for your overpower reference, and we're finding the middle of the fairway there, and it's going to set up a very nice rough bump. So around 358 yards we are going to add spin first. Here we're going to be playing with 1 bar of right spin and approximately 3.1 or 3.2 top spin. You may need to vary the top spin depending on your drive distance. You want the yellow ring touching the rough line with the ball guide 1 green square through the hole. 358 yards on the drive. The second shot adjustment is going to be 54% slider, 0 elevation. Obviously if you drive longer than that, say 360, you're going to be nearer, so you would reduce 2% per yard. So 360 would be exactly mid, 362 you'd be going for a 46% slider, and so on. Hitting perfect here, and it's going to catch the rough very, very nicely with our adjustment. Takes the upslope on the green and we get a nice pace and drop it right at the pin. On this hole, we're going to find position with the quarterback. Blue ring touching the rough on the right at P3 max. Then we switch to our APOC bag. Going to add spin, of course, actually before switching. It doesn't really matter which order you do it though. 1 top spin, 3 left spin. The good thing about adding with the quarterback is you can see the ball guide as well. But you've got your ring reference there and your spin. Then I switch to my APOC bag and adjust max plus 0. Max plus 0 on this one. The reason for the club switch is that you don't have to worry about starting points or ring references there. Nice easy way to find the right position with the quarterback level 9 plus. So max distance, 0 elevation here, power 3 settings. Even though we're not at max club, I am using max numbers. No overpower, no curl, just a nicely centered perfect ball. And it'll bounce nicely down the fairway and towards the end of the fairway here to set up a thorn approach. Drive distance, you are looking in the region of 305 yards. Second shot, going to play rings from min once again, so find your minimum distance line, then I add spin. You will need usually around 0.8 top spin, so I add that first and then I push up rings from min. There is 5, there is 10, and then a few more to get the placement that I need. And you will see here with the top spin applied, it's going to be approximately the red ring that is touching the beginning of the fringe. And the ball guide, you can see there, I offset this just 1 click right of the pin. We'll see if we need to modify that next. I would actually, thinking about the replay here, leave it where it is. In the video, I adjusted 25% elevation. I would recommend you go with 30%. It will give you an extra 0.1. Rings from min, so if you push up 12 rings, you go 12% slider. We have a tutorial on that on the Academy tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. So rings from min plus 30 rather than 25. As you can see, I just dropped it left edge. No movement target drive here. The rock loads up at plus 16. Just check at rock level 9 will be plus 15, I would think. 1 top spin, 3 right spin is the spin that we're going to use. And we're going to go max plus 10, power 3 settings. Max plus 10, power 3. Like I said, if you're using the rock level 9, just double check your NMT position. I've only tried this with the rock level 8. Max plus 10, and we're then going to take our shot. No overpower, no curl needed here. Plain ball, centre ball hit with a perfect. And this is going to be very nicely down the fairway. You're going to avoid the rough and rolls towards the end of the fairway, just to the point of the dog leg, around 345 yards. Second shot, white ring pin check, WRPC. Have the middle of the white ring on the bottom over the pin. You could see it was plus 4. That's going to determine our slider percentage. Adding a little bit of backspin, as you can see there, about half a bar. And you want to set up with the inner green ring touching the rough line, with the ball guide going over the left half of the cup. Bear in mind, this is an aggressive rough bump. May not be for everybody. You can see I just tweak there to have the ball guide over the left edge of the cup, because I was missing right previously. So ball guide over the left edge of the cup with spin added. Minus 30% elevation, because you were just down into the bunker. I would advise you to take a token or two on this one, because it can be quite a touchy shot. So get a feel for it, and the rough is quite thin. If you're not fancying this, bounce yourself on the green or up to the green with spin as needed. 67% slider in this case, 30% negative elevation. Going to go with a Titan here. It's nice to drop down from a Kingmaker occasionally. 5.8 top spin, 1 bar side spin to the right, setting up at P3 max with APOC 5 and above. With APOC 5 and 6, you'll have the right side of the yellow ring touching the rough, aiming as shown if you've got different club levels. Max plus 10. Now, if you've got APOC 4, you will stretch out 1.7 rings to find your position, and then after adjustment, you would then push up 1.7 rings. But if not, leave it where it is with APOC 5 plus. Full overpower, slow needle, hit perfect, no curl. I've tested this with max wind, even with a Titan, and it's still absolutely safe. Get a nice roll out here, and the drive distance is going to be in the region of 401 yards. Second shot with the thorn, we're going to add 1 bar of backspin. There's no plus yards to be had here, so we're going to have to play rings from min instead. So count up your rings from min. With your spin added, you might need to tweak the backspin slightly if you encounter any ball guide glitches, so be prepared to tweak or adapt as needed. Ball guide just before the front edge of the cup, playing rings from min, 10% elevation. As always with the thorn, I'm pulling over the bullseye. So 15 rings from min, playing it 15% slider. 1% slider per ring from min. 10% elevation over the bullseye. Like I said, you might need to tweak it, especially if you get a dead rollout on the drive, but you're still going to have a shot. Play it true club distance with the thorn for your eagle attempt on this par 4. If you're enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to support the channel and help keep it free for everybody, you can do so by making a small donation in one of 3 ways. You can click the thanks button underneath the video. You can use the PayPal link in the description down below, or you can become a channel member as well if you wish. Time to go aggressive in this wind angle. We are going to find our position first and then add spin, because you might need to tweak the spin according to your wind strength. We're going to use a berserker though, and you want to be with APOC 5 plus at the top of plus 25, and you can see I've got the yellow ring touching the rough. APOC 4 will be at P5 max. Here I go with 5 top spin and 2 left spin with this wind strength 11.1. In high wind, if you have 11.9 max wind with a berserker, you would need to reduce the top spin, I would say, to about 4.5, 4.6 top spin as a guide, otherwise you will fly the rough. And similarly, in lower wind, you may need to add top spin. So always take a token or two, get used to the different wind strengths and wind angles you may face. Max plus 10, P5, full overpower, 0.8 ball curl to the left, going to be a nice and slow needle, even with APOC 4. Bounces comfortably on the fairway, doesn't threaten the rough. Second bounce in the rough or the snow, and rolls out for the wedge. You're going to play standard end bringer school for the wedge. Here I'm using the Thor's Hammer 6 plus. You can use extra mile 9. You want a load of top spin. About 7.5 top spin is going to be good, and 2 bars left spin. If you have more top spin available, of course, use it. You will get nearer the green. Aiming as shown, you can see with Thor's Hammer 6, yellow ring touching the wooden edging there at the top of plus 3, or at plus 3 rather. Different clubs will of course have different plus yards or ring references. Max plus 5 does not take me into overpower, but I am going to play with some. I would recommend default with Thor's Hammer 6 2 rings of OP. If you adjust into any additional OP, then add that on. As you can see, even with 2 rings default, no curl, we're still not threatening the end of the fairway pad. It's a comfortable bounce. Don't want to really push it much further than that, but it clears adequately and rolls towards the fringe. Obviously you're going to get nearer with more top spin. Here is a screenshot of the wedge setup. It's going to be around 75–80% from there. Always measure it yourself, but please, with no spin method, because you're shooting into headwind, you will need to set up with the ball guide comfortably through the hole. You can see here, just giving you a zoom in as a reference. Here we are going to set up with the bullseye over the rough line, plus 0 with APOC 5 and above. That will be plus 6 with APOC 4. Then we're adding spin. We're going to go with 5.8 top spin and 3 left spin. You don't have to use a Kingslayer. Using it here to cut down because I'm in a high wind scenario. Would be fine with a Kingmaker in all winds though, I would think. Adjust max plus 5. Very difficult here to see the white ring against the snow. So you could actually push rings if you wanted to, because it's very difficult to see the edge of the ring. So max plus 5, full overpower, slower needle. Then we're going to go with inner wall curl to the left. If you're worried about hitting a great right, I would suggest you add a little bit more curl. As you can see, heavy great rights might clip the rough. So the option's there for you, but max plus 5 gets you to 375 yards. Second shot, find the minimum distance line, then we're going to push up some rings. I would definitely push up 5 rings to have room to adjust, and then you're going to set your spin from there. You won't need any side spin, it's just going to be a couple of clicks of backspin to replicate the position shown. You want that ball guide there to be pointing at the pin, and for 5 rings from min I'm playing this 6% slider -10 elevation. You might need to vary your pushing up or your amount of rings from min. If you find a glitch on the green, then tweak your spin or your push up to work round that glitch. So -10% elevation here, 6% on the slider. We'll have a look how this comes in. Might need to tweak the amount of spin or the placement. If we just make this just trickling in, you might want to have the ball guide more at the pin rather than the edge. We just make it in this instance. Onto this par 4 to finish then, set up with the QB. At the top of +10, ball guide pointing down the middle of the fairway as shown before spin. Then you switch to your APOC bag, going with a Kingmaker. Then we're going to add spin, and it's going to be 5.8 top spin, 1 bar side spin to the left, and then adjust max +10. Max +10, even though we are not at max distance of our club. This is going to set up a rough bump for the best chance at the eagle from this par 4 from Secure Hills. So max +10. Once we've adjusted, we're going to take our shot. It's going to be a full overpower shot, but it's a slower needle. No curl, nice chance of hitting perfect though with a slower needle speed. Perfect ball we shoot, and this one bounces nicely down the fairway. Drive distance here, you want to be in pin check range with the sniper, going to be around 360 yards. So making our pin check +4 here with sniper 10 will be +6 with sniper 9. Then we're going to add spin. It's going to be approximately 1.8 top spin and 1 right spin. Then the position is going to be the yellow ring touching the bunker, and you'll see where I'm aiming the ball guide here. It takes me a while just to find the right position here. This is a bit of a touchy shot, so I would recommend a token or two to increase your chances. Put a wind angle tweak or 2 in if you can. You'll see here I'm just 1 click to the left of centering the ball guide through the pin. We'll see how this comes in. +4 for the pin check, going 30% slider, -20% elevation. Make sure you've got negative elevation, not plus. Otherwise, you're going to have a very undesirable outcome. So 30% slider, -20% elevation using sniper 10 numbers. Nicely centered ball here. Perfect ball is going to catch the rough very nicely. And the topspin takes us in here for our eagle. Thank you very much for watching this video on the Far East 9-hole Cup. Hope you do well in the tournament, and don't forget to join me and a load of other members on our free Facebook group. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash. Free guides, shot sharing and discussion points, all to keep you entertained and help you improve your Golf Clash gameplay at the same time. Good luck everybody, see you soon, bye for now.